Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Dirt Rally, and it's episode 1. This is a brand new series to the channel. It is replacing Stellaris in the lineup, and if you've been following, there is an overhaul. Of my 10 games, 4 of them are now being replaced. I've restructured the categories a little bit. I took sports management and made a totally separate racing category now. 2 of those games from sports management transferred over, Pro Cycling Manager and Motorsport Manager, and they are now being joined with 2 new racing games to the channel. Dirt Rally is the first, and soon to come, also from Codemasters, is F1 2018. Let's get into it. This is part of the Gaming Decathlon, so there are rules and there is a scoring method. Let's take a look at the rules first. I must progress through every tier and classification of racing in this game. That includes purchasing all of the cars, but needing to race each classification for at least one championship series, not racing every single car in the game. I must race on the hardest settings, so that includes terminal crashes, so those would count as a DNF. The game does have recover when you get off track. I can only use that when it's the only option. Sometimes it will do it automatically. Other times it gives you the option and it'll give you the pop-up to hit a button. I cannot hit that button unless I cannot get the car unstuck. The only options available to me are the championships, the team management, and garage. So I cannot use online events to earn extra money. It's all got to come from racing in championships. What it does include is rally, all 6 tiers of the championship, and Rally Cross, all 6 tiers of that championship. What it excludes, and what it only excludes besides the online events, is hill climb. Now the scoring. In the Gaming Decathlon, I have 10 games times 1,000 points each, aiming for 10,000 overall. So the 1,000 points to earn in this game, to master the game, to show that I've got it totally mastered. The game itself has 46 cars. 4 of those are the hill climbers. So, excluding those, there are 42 cars possible. 5 points for every car that I purchase. That's 210. The classifications, meaning how those cars are broken down into different categories, like 1960s, 1970s. Okay, there's 10 classifications in Rally. There are 3 in Rally Cross. 20 points each time I race in a new classification. Each tier, so Rally, there are 6 tiers, going from basically amateur up to pro. Rally Cross, same thing, 6 tiers, 20 points each time I move up to a new tier. And then I have a pit crew that helps me out, race by race, stage by stage. There are essentially 32 upgrades. That's the most complicated of these. It's really not as complicated as it sounds, though. You have a crew chief. They have level 1 to 5. So that's 5 of those upgrades. They also have 3 perks that you unlock the longer you spend with them on your team. So there's 3 more upgrades. And then you have 4 engineer slots. And each engineer available to hire onto your team, there's 3 different tiers of engineers. So that's 4, then 3, and then each of those have 3 unlockable perks as well. So add that all up, 32, 5 points for each one. And finally, the championship standings, which of course every time you start a new season, championship standings reset, but in a single championship, there are 6 races, and the winner earns 25 points. So there's up to 25 points times 6 races. That's calculated at 1 per. So in a given season, I could earn 150. So to max out all the points, I've got to race all my way through all of the rally classifications, all the 6 tiers, and then get into the rallycross, get through those 3 classifications and those 6 tiers, and then win that championship, and I can max out those points while having a maxed out pit crew and every single car in the game purchased outside of Hill Climb. Without further ado, let's get started with the first race. Here are the max settings that I'm required to play by. Essentially, I'm on ultra difficulty. So transmission, manual sequential, clutch override is off. Allow exterior cameras is off. So I'm stuck with cockpit view only, making it more challenging. Automatic launch control is off. I have played this game before. This is a new one for me. I've always had that on. And ABS is off, anti-lock brake system. So those 2 I had on previously. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to that change. The automatic launch control, not a big deal. But having the ABS off is probably going to have at least a minor impact for me. Traction control is off. Stability control is off. The only thing I'm leaving is that the HUD is on. And just for reference, I have camera shake, field view, co-driver calls set to normal timing, and cockpit driver and wheel is enabled. I will be playing not with a steering wheel, though I would love to eventually get one. It's been years since I've had one, but I am playing with an Xbox 360 remote, though I am playing on PC. On to career. Okay, the only things available to me: championships, team management, and garage. So no PvP, no online events, no custom championships. We start with 50,000 team rating, a whopping 5. Yikes. Okay, we start off in the 1960s classification. I will move left to right. We will only be skipping hill climb once we get there. And then we go on to, and that's the hill climb and modern hill climb, and then we have rallycross after we get all the way through the rally classifications themselves. So while there are 3 cars in the 1960s, I do not have to drive all 3, but I will have to purchase all 3 before I can move on to the 1970s. So I will have to earn at least a little bit of money. And as I drive a Mini Cooper in real life, a modern one, I'll go ahead and choose the 1960s Mini Cooper here, just out of personal preference. I love my car. It's like a go-kart, but I get to take it out on the road. It's awesome when I drive to the coast, go visit my family who live out at the coast, and weave in and out of those curves. Alright, let's see. Change the livery. We've got a green. Let's go with that red and black. Alright, we have a car. Let's take a look at team management. Okay, here's where I talked about with the upgrade, the scoring there. So I start with a crew chief, and then there are 4 engineer slots. So I'll have 5 crew members in all. Each of them has 3 perks that are unlocked as you tick off the miles, and your crew chief starts on level 1. So I want to get a crew member in right away. This is that higher tier. This is the lower tier. So you get more points for a higher tier in the scoring. And I need to get somebody right away. Let's go ahead and skip to tier 2, or should I wait? Let's wait. We'll get one in the lower tier for now. 32 stages is the length of the contract. 40 stages. If I go with the more expensive one, I'm not planning on keeping them for terribly long, so we will get one now. Let's see. Bodyworks is cheap to replace. Exhaust is cheap to replace, so we'll go with Carolinian. Okay, I don't even unlock another slot until 50 miles. Okay, that was also 5 points that I just picked up for hiring an engineer. And I have a level 1 engineer here, that's 5 points. And I have a car. So for the game itself, I'm at 15 points. You're not too worried about that at this point. You want to see me race, so let's get to the championships. We start in Rally in the Open Championship. We will skip hill climbs, and then eventually we'll move on to Rallycross. And the FIA World Rallycross Championship is the highest tier of the Rallycross. There's 5 tiers here, 1 there, and we have 6 tiers here. My first classification, and this will earn 20 points. I race our Mini Cooper. Alright, now in the lowest tier, we start with shorter races. It's only 4 stages. As you move up to higher tiers, races get longer. They extend by 2 stages each time, and the stages get more complex. These are all short sprint stages, starting out early on, and we're starting with a difficult one. We are heading to Argolis, Greece. I have played this game a bit, but I have not maxed it out by any means, and like I was just mentioning, 2 of the settings have now been upped to a higher level, and I am not perfect at this game, and I expect to have additional challenges trying to commentate as I race, as it requires a hyper focus to do well at this game. Alright, there are 16 drivers competing stage by stage. Each gets their individual time. And we will start with a shakedown, which is just the first little part. This will give me a chance to practice my starts and practice the track a little bit and get used to the car.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 60.
Okay, shifting a little early there.
Left 6 into
This right-hand drive is going to take a little bit of time to get used to. And yeah, there's that anti-lock brakes already giving me trouble.
100.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on, stalling out a little bit, the turbo here.
Right 6 continues for 100.
Oh, this is slow. It's been a long time since I did the 1960s.
Into left 5 continues for 150.
Okay, I am terribly slow at the moment, but I want consistency first.
Right 5 continues for 150.
Really bad on the corners at the moment.
Caution left
I'm trying to get
6
used to the
long,
car,
full
trying to get
jump.
used to the ABS
To right
not
6
being
long.
there.
Finish.
That would have been a nasty next corner. Also playing with the terminal DNFs on. It's going to create a challenge for me. Alright, I don't want to waste your time. I'm not going to mess around with setup, and I'm not going to run additional shakedowns, even though that was not even anywhere near a mediocre run. Which means I'm going to probably start off a bit slow, but it's going to take me some time to get used to the car. Probably not going to do terribly well.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay.
1, go. 60.
Better start this time.
60.
That's how we improve.
Left 6 into hairpin right.
I'm going to be overly cautious on corners until I get used to this ABS and this car.
Into left 3 long 100.
It was already better than the last one. At least about a second faster than the shakedown.
Keep left over crest.
Boy, this
Right
car's
6 don't cut.
slow to speed
Into
up.
left 5 continues for 150. Into turn hairpin right 80.
Late to, little too late to brake.
Right 5 continues for 130.
Almost had to come to a stop to make that corner.
Caution left 6 half long small jump. Into right 6 long. Into
Ooh,
left
I don't
3
have
long,
higher than fourth.
continues for 130.
I'm only 3 seconds off the pace.
Right 360.
That's not bad, considering.
Right 3 tight.
Also the
Left 4 over
oh. Okay, here's that other trick is they're only getting yeah, recover. I'm just going down the hill.
jump.
Wasn't coming back up from that one.
Tight 360.
Okay. Messed that one up bad. That cost me all kinds of time. I was actually doing good after the first checkpoint, considering trying to get used to this car.
Right 5 long, 100 down, braking.
This is not one of the most difficult courses, but this is one of the more difficult courses. A lot of tight corners, hairpin corners.
Care left 6 into big jump and jump. Immediate acute right.
Yeah, lost a lot of time there. It's going to put me well down in the standings.
Left 6.
Figure out these hairpins, I will
80 over crest.
save an enormous amount of time.
Down, acute left.
Where? Oh, all the way down there still. But it's really important in this game, if you've never played a rally game before, it's really important that you
Around tree 60.
pay close attention to your co-driver, as they make all the difference
Caution left
in
6,
anticipating
over bump, 60 down,
the course.
hairpin left.
So you don't do what I did and go off the course where it's got that sudden jut out to the side.
Into caution left 4 and down into hairpin right.
And I either didn't catch it or didn't read it right.
Left 6.
Almost put myself off
Into
again.
right 3 half long. 60 keep right over crest. Caution left 4 don't cut.
This is a terrible stage at this point, mostly because of the one incident. Yeah, see, it said don't cut. And meanwhile, I'm talking. I only lost another second there. So in terms of the championship, I feel like I actually have a good chance at winning the race. But now, can I make up 23 seconds?
Right 6 into left 5 long over crest. Left 5 over bad bump don't cut.
And still being a little bit on the overly cautious because, again,
And
terminal
right 4.
is terminal. There's no coming back from that on here. I'm out of the race if I do that.
Left 6, 60, keep left over crest. 80 through dead. Keep right over crest. Into left 5, don't cut. 80.
Don't cut. Whew. Bobbing and weaving through the finish there, trying to keep the traction. That's still good for 5th, and only 6 seconds out of 3rd. So I definitely can see myself back on the podium here in a short amount of time, probably in this next stage. But I need to make sure I do not have another off-the-track incident like I did if I'm going to be able to do that. We have plenty of time left in this episode, so we are going to continue right on into stage 2. You get a chance after every second stage to do half an hour worth of repairs, and your pit crew makes all the difference on those repairs. So you want to get a pit crew maxed out as soon as possible. Okay, handbrake
5,
in.
4, 3,
Ready
2,
for the start.
1, go. 6, 8.
See, it starts, it's only a brief second, so that's easy to get used to and adjust to. Shifted a little early there.
60 down. Caution right 5, 60 down. Right 5 don't cut. It's care. Left forward half long.
And I can't really follow the recommendations totally because of... Oh, this is left, not a right. That was deceiving.
Right 6 long over crest.
And I was not on the right line for that.
Left 6, 60. Left 6, 60. Right 6, 60. Left 6 crest. Right 3 long down. Into caution, left 5, don't cut. Right 4, keep out. 60 over crest.
There we go.
Left 4,
That's better.
continues
Wow,
on
I'm 8
60.
seconds down.
And caution,
I know I was
right
being
6.
cautious, but
Into
that
immediate
one
hairpin
mistake
left.
cost me a couple seconds, but I did not think.
Right 4.
I have some time to make up here.
Into left 6. Crest bump. And right 6 through dead 60. Hairpin left around tree. 100.
Oh, cut it way too much. I was trying to get just that front left
Hairpin right.
a little bit tight to it because I had already slowed down so much. Instead, I end up
And right 6
in the brush.
80. Left 6 half long. And caution right 6. Into hairpin left 80. Over crest. And crest jump maybe.
Okay, this is a little better.
60. Hairpin right 150.
Another hairpin coming up, losing more time. Wow. Surprised I'm losing that much time.
Small
I'm not
crest,
driving
left
full
6
out,
left
but
crest.
I'm still getting used to this car. But I'm surprised just how much time I'm losing here.
60 down. Narrows. Left 4 long, opens and tightens over jump. Into right 4 long, tightens to 3, don't
Being
cut.
more conservative than apparently I can afford to be right now, I've got to be dropping in the standings. Obviously, I'm not first, but at this point I'm kind of shooting for maybe just on the edge of the podium, third place for this first race. That would be good points.
And right 4 long, don't cut, up.
And in terms of promotion out of Tier 1,
Small jump.
all you need to do is be in the top 3 in standings.
Right 6 and left 6, 100, up.
Ugh, stuck in between second and third gear here. In third, I'm not really accelerating. In second, I'm topping out the RPMs right now. It's gotta be. Oh, braking way too early. I misread that.
Right 5 long.
There we go. That was a better corner. Okay, we're in the last section.
6 crest, keep
I didn't
in.
lose as much time that time, that last segment.
Left 6, 100.
A couple tighter corners coming up here at high speed.
Into turn hairpin left. Into right 6, 80 over
Come on,
crest.
come on. Yeah, this time that one.
4, don't cut, stay mid. 100 to finish.
Ooh, that was close. Not too bad other than being fairly slow in the first 2 sectors. Yeah, there you go. That was good enough for third. And quite a bit of time between those behind me. Just, I'm well behind Dahl and Minami. I know a Japanese Minami. Definitely not that Minami. Alright, that does put me into third right now. I am already a minute behind, 50 seconds behind Minami. So they're just about out of reach. And I do have 2 drivers still close on my tail with 2 stages to go. So I gotta make sure I do keep it on the track. Driving conservative should at least keep third place safe for me. Ready for stage 3. I do need to take a few minutes to, well, 30 minutes to repair the car, but it doesn't take 30 minutes. It just takes a few seconds. The wheels are the only ones taking any significant damage here, and time goes really fast with only 1 weak engineer to help me out. So let's see. I want to get the gearbox up. Not any problems there. Let's get that fully repaired. And Maybe suspension. There you go. That's all the time I have for. But that'll get us to the end of the race, no problem. Unless I wreck majorly. Alright, on to stage 3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 60 crest, right 6.
Not the best start. Little slow, and
And left
I think I
5.
shifted out of first a little bit earlier. I was still struggling for
Into
traction
right
a little
4
bit.
long, into left 4 long, into right 3, into left 6 crest, and left 5 over crest, opens crest, tight.
So hard to get this car up to speed.
Right 4, don't cut.
Once you
100.
slow down, that's where the time just starts ticking away. That's how I got behind in the in that last
Into right
stage.
3 long,
All that time was being lost
into
where
turn right
I got
long,
off the accelerator a little bit and then had a long
into
mostly
left 6,
straight
continues
section.
80, small crest, into
just
right
doesn't
6
accelerate fast enough to make up for
into
that.
left 6 long,
So it can
open
turn into
crest,
3,
80,
4, 5 seconds lost just like that.
right 5 half long,
You know,
and
like a
left
corner like
4,
this. If I got off the
60.
brakes,
Keep
off the
right
gas
over
at all,
crest. Left 1 continues to
Look at that.
100.
just bogs down. There's no speed.
Into right 6. Into keep left
That was a
over crest.
decent corner though. That had to make up a little bit of
Into right
time.
6 over crest jump maybe.
I'm already over the
Left
split
6.
time.
Into right 5 times 2. Into left 5 continues for 80.
7
Caution
seconds
narrow,
over.
60 crest. Right 6 long continues over crest jump maybe 80. Right 5 over crest jump maybe, don't cut, 60 narrows. Left 5 half long, 60. Right 5 half long, tights 3 long, don't cut, 80.
See, here it goes again, just bogging down. I'm at 40,
Into right
45.
5
I
tights,
just,
don't cut.
once you get into that range, it
Right
just
5,
doesn't want to go
left
faster.
6, crest, right 6 and crest and right 6. Into caution, left 5 long, don't cut, keep
Just
mid over
creeping
tight
along.
narrows.
I'm like on a Sunday stroll.
60. Right 6 half long, left 6 80, keep left past junction. Right 6 half long, left 5 half long, don't cut, 250. Keep mid over small crest past junction, 100. Caution slowing, big bump, right 4. Left 5. And left 5 times 3,
That was better.
don't cut, 100.
Much better.
Caution right 5 long, narrows, don't cut. And left 3, don't cut through depth. And right 5 crest.
Should have only gone down to
Left
second
1
there,
half long,
not
don't
first.
cut. Right 6, 60 bump. And right 5
Guy actually
long,
nudged the
opens.
inside there.
Into
Guardrail.
left 2 half long, don't
Okay,
cut.
left
60.
2 tight corner, but not super tight. How much speed can I keep through here? Yes. Okay, not bad, not bad.
Left 6. Into right 5
Shifted a
long.
little early, but
Into left 5 half long, narrows.
Maintained a decent
Into
amount of
right
speed there.
5, 60. Right 6 over bump, 60. Left 6. Right 5 half
Woo!
long, 80 over 2 small
boy, that was a
jumps.
little bump that just started getting me bouncing around.
Into caution right 4, don't cut, keep left over crest. 130. Left 2, tightens 1, don't cut, 80.
Okay, tight corner and getting tighter. Yes, maintained a
Right
decent amount of
6,
speed
120.
through there. Okay, getting better, getting
Right 6, 60.
more smooth with the car here.
Right 4 half
Later
long,
stages.
into left 5,
Whoa, only
60
16
crest.
seconds off now. But as you can see, as I push it,
Into right 3 long.
I'm on that verge of losing control, and
And
It's
left
pretty
2
hard hit
half
there.
long, don't cut. Right 6
tight
long,
one.
80.
Yes, kept it through there all right.
Left 6, 80 over crest jump,
I'll
80.
definitely be faster here. I did lose a little bit of time with
6,
that
60.
brush in
Right
with
2
the wall.
continues for 100. 60. Left 4 long, 100 over crest jump maybe. Caution right 3 half long narrows. Into left 6 half long, don't cut, 80 crest. Into keep left over jump.
Okay.
Into caution right
jump.
5 over 80, tightens to 2 narrows and slippy.
Losing a little time here.
Into
Whoa,
left
you
6
said
half long,
5.
don't cut.
Said 5. Come on,
Right
come on.
6.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Get on the road. Get on the road. Get on the road. There we go.
Left 6
Ah, that was 10 seconds.
Right 6 continues 80 and tightens 5. Left 5 add camber, 80 crest jump maybe. Finish.
I've messed that corner up many times in other races. You hear that ×5 and I don't know, there's like a ×2 hidden in there, like a ×2 slippy. It's said so brief, you don't catch it, you don't hear it, and then after the fact, you hit that guardrail, and I've wrecked much worse there than that. Could have used that 10 seconds. Gained a couple seconds on Dahl. Dahl's probably going to drop to second there. Yep, they do. I'm still a minute off Dahl though, so... almost half a minute on Ravelli now, with just one stage to go. So it looks like I'm firm favorite for third place. Just a single stage to go. Don't cut! Nice message at the bottom there. When they say don't cut, they mean don't cut.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Caution left 4 long, keep mid.
Okay, that's probably my best start so far.
Into right 5 half long, don't cut, keep right on the crest. Into left 4 long.
Okay, there's a couple of difficult corners coming up here early on, these downhills.
170.
Almost put that into the wall. Got to slow down just
Caution
enough
jump, right
to not
5,
lose too much
don't
time
cut.
there.
Left 6.
Yeah, this is a tough section. There's so many ways to mess this up like that. Lucky. That could have been a lot worse. That was probably only going to be about 3 seconds lost there.
Caution left 2 narrows.
I need to slow this down. This is
Into left 660 crest
difficult,
jump.
and a difficult car to control through these areas.
Caution crest, right 6 times to 5 narrows. Left
I'm going
3
to sacrifice some time to make sure that I do not
60.
end up in a
Crest jump
DNF
maybe.
on the last
Right
stage
3 long, 60.
when I'm comfortably in third place. So I am going to slow this down.
Left 2 continues for 80 past lay-by. Into right 6. Into
In order to
crest jump
progress,
60.
you've got to finish. Finishing's
Left over
first.
crest. Right
Play it
6
smart,
long.
play it smart. Alright,
Into
here we go.
left 6. And right 2 half long, don't cut. Left 3 long, keep right over crest, 80.
Yeah, 15 seconds off.
Right 6 over small crest,
5 of those were those big mistakes early, at least, if not 7.
80. Left 6, 80 over small crest. Left 6, 80. Right 2 long, don't cut.
Safer area for a bit. Push it a little more through here.
150. Caution, keep right over crest. Jump maybe past junction. Left 4 half long, don't cut.
This is one where I've messed
Into
up
small
before
crest and bump.
quite a few times.
Into left 5
It's a tricky
half long,
blind corner.
Right 6. Into left 6 over bump narrow, stay mid 60. Left 6 half long. And right 5 don't cut. Into left 5 half long. Into right 5 half long, 80. Keep left
Definitely the
over
most difficult stage.
and right 1 long.
Tight
left
corner,
6.
tight corner. There we go.
Left 4 half long, 60 over crest jump maybe. Left 6 and right 1 long. Crest. Left 5. Right 4
Nice.
through dip.
That was a good corner.
Cut. Left 6 continues for 80.
Tight one.
Times 5, 60.
Make it up time right now. This is a good section for me.
Right 2 half long.
Yeah, there you go. I think in the first part of that section I continued to lose time, but once I got out of that danger area, got into an area where I could make good time, I think I probably gained 3 or 4 seconds in there. Still lost a couple seconds overall on the section, but here I'm going slower than I could. I don't want to max speed. That's where you end up losing control. So seconds are ticking by right now. Probably just cost myself 4 or 5 seconds through there to make sure that I didn't crash.
Right 5, don't cut 100. Left 1 long, tightens and narrows 60. Right 6.
Braked early to make sure I could
left 6,
handle that corner.
Left 6 into caution, bump narrows. Left 6.
It's a fast section. I'm a little slower than I could be. You could probably hear I'm off the gas, but I have a good amount of speed. Just there we go. I only lost 5 seconds. So I figured I'd lose about 10 through there.
Into right 1, continues for 100.
On the brakes, on the brakes. That's good.
80.
I think the ABS part is affecting me too much anymore. Getting pretty used to that.
80 crest. Right 6 long into left 6. And right 6 long into turn left 1.
Okay. Tight corner, tight corner, tight corner.
Into left 4,
Nice.
continues for 80 crest.
It's well done.
Right 1 long, 80.
Good exit. Oh, 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 oh. That right one message came way late.
Left 5, don't cut. Right 4,
That message should have come much sooner than it did there. Because I braked as soon as he said something.
Into left 3.
And got a bunch of oohs because I was not prepared for that corner.
And right 6, 60, keep left over crest.
Little slow through that rhythm section, but only slightly slow, slightly so. On to the finish. That should be 3rd place. I'd be surprised if it was 3rd on the stage. Yes. Just a handful of seconds off of Dahl. Manami moves comfortably to the win. Dahl takes 2nd. I will be 3rd. Well back, over a minute of Dahl, but 40 seconds up on Ravelli. Not bad. First race out. Trying to get used to the car. Good amount of income coming in. Finished 3rd. So that's 31,000. Reward bonus for the difficulty. It's another 10. And then a couple thousand for repairs, which isn't too bad. And picked up the first 2. Picked up the first engine upgrade completely. 40% through the second one. So we'll have a little more power heading into this next race. And there's 15 points heading out. Alright, we'll save and exit to the menus. We'll see what that can do for us in terms of, let's see, team management. I don't think that's going to unlock anything for me at this point. No, we're still 35 miles away from the next one. I could, hypothetically, hire a better engineer already at this point. However, I think I'm going to hang on to this engineer, Carolinian, for a while. And then when I get that 36 miles to unlock the next engineer slot, I will go directly to the highest tier engineer available on that one, which I think they cost 40,000 to sign on to a contract, but they have a huge impact on keeping the car maxed out. So I have 2 cars left to buy in the 1960s. And there's 5 races to go, so I'm going to need to spend at least 2 races purchasing those, plus 1 race to purchase the 1970s first car. That'll get us into the next classification once we finish this championship. So that's 3 races worth of income and that means I'll have 3 races worth for engineers, which means we should be probably already to at least a second car in the 1970s. So let's go ahead and get one of these purchased. I guess it doesn't matter which one I go with first. So there's the Lancia. Quick look at the libraries for those. Alrighty. Well, we are right at the end of our time, so we got our first race out of the way. Tune in immediately. I'm going to have back-to-back episodes here on my launch day for this new series. Game's not new. It's a couple years old since it came out of beta, but it's a new series for me, so we got a doubleheader today. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.